Right, let us move on to what is going on with the royal family at Christmas time. There's a man who knows.
Christmas is normally the one time each year when the royal family presents a united front in public. It is the season of Sandringham walks, carefully scheduled photos, and long-standing traditions meant to show stability and continuity. But this year, one person is completely missing from that scene. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor will not be at Sandringham. He did not attend the king's pre-Christmas family lunch. And based on reports from the past week, he will not even be spending Christmas with his daughters. For a man who once stood at the center of royal custom, this festive period looks more lonely than ever. Let's look at what has been reported and why this Christmas feels especially bleak. Christmas at Sandringham has never been a private occasion. It is a closely watched routine, complete with shooting parties, long walks, and traditions that dominate the news from Christmas Eve through Boxing Day. It is about who appears, who is seen, and who is intentionally left out. This year, the exclusion is clear. Andrew and Sarah Ferguson will not attend. According to several insiders, this is no longer about family feelings. It is about control. After years of controversy, a firm boundary has been set. Andrew is no longer part of the public royal Christmas, and there is no sign that will change. Last week confirmed that. While the rest of the family gathered for the king's pre-Christmas lunch at Buckingham Palace, Andrew was absent. Instead, cameras caught him riding alone through Windsor Great Park, bundled against the cold, a single figure while others arrived together. It was a quiet moment, but a striking one. It appeared carefully timed to send a message. What makes this year different is not only Andrew's absence from royal events, but the increasing distance between him and his daughters. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie were both invited to Sandringham. The king is said to remain close to his nieces, and there has been a clear effort to separate them from their father's troubles. But reporting this week suggests Beatrice faced a hard decision. She was invited to spend Christmas with her parents at Royal Lodge, likely their final festive season there. She was also invited to join the wider family. In the end, she chose neither. Instead, Beatrice is reportedly spending Christmas abroad on a skiing trip with her husband and friends. Sources say the choice was made to avoid discomfort and to avoid being photographed with her father while scrutiny remains intense. Eugenie appears to be handling a similar situation. She attended the pre-Christmas lunch at Buckingham Palace, reportedly out of gratitude for the support she has received from the King and the Prince of Wales. Her Christmas plans are still unclear, but what stands out is that neither daughter has been seen at Royal Lodge in recent weeks.
Perhaps I might find myself shedding, I probably won't actually, shedding a tear for Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor because it looks like his kids aren't going to hang out with him this festive period.
No, Beatrice is saying she's going off skiing, and I think she's slightly in a rock and a hard place because, if she goes to Andrew, what does that say? If she goes to the King and Sandringham, what does that say? So it's almost like easier, right, let's just go and have some fun with some mates skiing over Christmas, which seems to be maybe an eminently sensible thing to do. Obviously, they'll go somewhere nice, they'll have some fun, kids in tow.
Katie Nishal has described the family as being in shock. She reports that the sisters remain in close contact with their mother, but have intentionally created distance from their father as his situation continues to worsen. Royal Lodge has come to represent that decline. Andrew has lived there for nearly 2 decades, in what was once considered a prestigious home inside Windsor Great Park. This year will mark his final Christmas in the property. The lease has been returned and preparations to move out are underway, even if the process is moving slowly. What is most noticeable this year is what is absent. The familiar wreaths have not appeared on the gates of Royal Lodge, and the Christmas tree that usually welcomes visitors has not been set up. For the first time since he moved in, there are no visible decorations outside the house. These may seem like small details, but within royal life, symbols carry weight. Insiders say Andrew is struggling to accept the reality of packing up his life. His relationship with Sarah Ferguson, long described as unusually close despite their divorce, is said to be strained in ways it never has been before. Sarah is reportedly searching for separate accommodation, confirming that their long-standing living arrangement is coming to an end. So what does Christmas actually look like for Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor this year?
There are also questions over what the royal family is going to do with Andrew this Christmas, because it seems very unlikely that the former Duke will be invited to King Charles's family celebration on the Sandringham estate.
Oh, no, absolutely. And we always say he's not going to be invited around at the Monopoly table. This is what the ruthless Prince William, as we called him, basically, he got his wish. Today we're reminded daily about how uncomfortable he felt at the Duchess of Kent's funeral.
Biographer Andrew Loney believes there may still be one final gathering at Royal Lodge, a kind of goodbye before the doors close permanently. He has suggested that a few longtime friends have stayed loyal and may visit. Others paint a much quieter picture. One royal observer suggested Andrew is spending more time than ever watching television, largely on his own, withdrawing as the world around him moves forward. Sarah Ferguson, by contrast, has always shown resilience. For better or worse, she tends to find a way through. Friends imagine her trying to bring energy into the season, over-decorating, inviting people over, and refusing to let the moment feel diminished. Others believe she's planning her next chapter, but even resilience has its limits. For the royal family, Christmas is about presence and belonging. This year, the message is clear. Andrew is excluded and his daughters are carefully stepping back. There is also a wider issue at play. Public support for the monarchy remains fragile, especially among younger generations. Polling shows a strong desire for reform, and the king understands that every image counts. Including Andrew in the royal Christmas, even discreetly, would not be seen as compassion. And so this Christmas, Andrew is likely to feel isolated, alone, and weighed down by recent months. No Sandringham photos, no family walks, no relatives beside him. Just a large house nearing the end of its story. Half-packed boxes stacked high, and the reality of being left behind by an institution that has already moved on. The full details of any royal Christmas are never completely known. Much stays out of sight, but the direction could not be clearer. So I'll leave you with this. Do you think Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor will ever quietly return to the royal fold at Christmas? Or is this isolation now permanent? Share your thoughts, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe for more royal stories like this. Thank you for watching.